What's up, everybody? This is Buck from the Blue Quill Angler. I've got a real greasy pattern for you here today. This is we're gonna tie a mop fly. Now, springtime here in Colorado. This year in particular, we're looking at a good high water season, and little mop fly. It's a great pattern for getting down to some of the trout in the higher water. Let's see. So I've got a Hannock 400 BL jig hook in a size 8 with a 4mm gold slotted tungsten bead. I like to tie these on jig hooks just because of the way that the fly rides upside down with that hook point facing up. You're a little bit less liable to snag the bottom when you're fishing this fly, and you get some nice hook sets right in the top of the fish's mouths. So with this fly, I usually just dress the hook about halfway, and I'll bring my thread back up to almost to the bead. Let's see. Oh, I should mention I'm using some UTC 140 thread. This is a tan color. And so what I did here, I've got a little mop body. And when you prep these things, you kind of have to tear some of the material out of the core. And I'll take this and tie it in by these little core strands. And I'm going to tie this in up close to the bead. And I'm going to redo this actually, slide this up a little bit just so I get a little bit more of the meat and potatoes onto the main part of the hook. There we go. I'll come in here, trim out the remaining pieces of the core. And what I'm going to do on this one, this is a little bit of an optional step, but I'm going to create a dubbing loop here really quick. And I'm going to use some Whitlock SLF dubbing in a Scud Shrimp tan color. Use whatever color you like. A lot of folks will tie these with some black dubbing up here with a black bead. A little soft pink bead works really nicely. Whatever you have handy. So I just had that prepped beforehand in one of these Stonfo dubbing clips. Real handy for just making a quick dubbing loop. So I'm going to spin up this loop with the SLF dubbing. And just give it a good spin here. And before I apply this to the fly, I'm just going to give it a little brush to get some of those trapped fibers to come free. There we go, quick little brush. Right, now I've released my dubbing loop from the dubbing tool, and just going to make a real quick collar on here. You'll notice what I do is as I wrap each wrap, I'll try to tease all these fibers backwards a little bit. Endless number of color combinations that you can go with these. I particularly like the tan color. We do carry some of these mop bodies in chartreuse orange. You can find this stuff in a good variety of colors. But let's see. There we go. That's your mop fly. Some people love them. Some people hate them. Hey, it doesn't matter to me. If it catches fish, I'm going to fish it. So here we go, your high water special. Little mop fly. Last little touch, I'll come back in here with my Velcro and rough up some of this dubbing collar. All right, there it is. So I'm actually going to tie a second one of these for you, another little variation, since it's a real quick tie. Same hook, same bead, same color mop body of tan, but I'm going to show you a way to jazz this up a little bit. Reset my hook just a little bit. There we go. Same thread as well, just a tan UTC 140. I have another one of these bodies prepped, ready to go. And just going to tie that in using the core strands that are on there. One little hint too, if you find that the fish are short striking this a little bit, what you can do is dress your hook all the way down to the bend, put a little dab of super glue in between your thread and the mop body and kind of glue it down. It takes away from the movement of the fly a little bit, but it's a good way to help if you're getting fish that are short striking it. I usually just tie them like I am here. All right, so here's our secret ingredient. This is the UK Flybox gel core Fritz. This is a material that's mostly used in stillwater flies, such as blobs and fabs, but it happens to make a really neat looking collar on this particular mop fly. So kind of same process as I used with the mop body, where I stripped away some of the material from the core, tied this in by the core, and I'm going to wrap this around, whoops, make a little collar on the fly. This particular gel core Fritz has a little bit of a sparkly property to it. It's a great material to work with. And as you can see, super fast for tying. All right, there we go. Handful of wraps of that Fritz. Whoa. Couple of whip finishes in here, and this is done. I will just one last little step on this one. I usually do a little brush on this too to fluff it a little bit and get some of those trapped fibers out. But there is your high water mop. Enjoy.